How is everybody doing? I'm going to take a look at my collection of Victorinox 111mm knives. These are my favourite Victorinox apart from the Alox 93mm. I just love these. I think that they're probably the best value, and there's a lot of features on these that are probably superior to the typical 91mm Victorinox knives. On the left you have the Sentinel one hand opening. After that you've got the Alpinier. You have got the Hunter XT. You have the Trailmaster Camo, the famous rescue tool, and the mighty Work Champ. These are great. I just think that the design and the function is almost perfect. So let's take a look at them one by one. Starting off with the Sentinel. I've had this for about 4 years. This was actually quite cheap on eBay, but you won't find them for the price I paid for it anymore. I don't know what's going on. Also, the serrated, semi-serrated blade seems to have disappeared from the model completely. It's just a plain blade. You can also get them in pull opening. So this is a liner locker, and nice and slim. It's great if you're just out walking and stuff like that, and you're in the countryside and you want to chop a few briars and stuff out of your way. This does the job. You can also slice bread. You can use it as a picnic knife. Yeah, just very simple. It comes with the tweezer and a toothpick. But yeah, one of my favorites. Very, very, very minimal and very functional at the same time. The Alpinier. This one I'm not too fond of. This was kind of an impulse buy. It's never been used. I'm actually just thinking of selling it at the moment. Yeah, I'll replace it with something else. Maybe get a skipper or something like that, because I like the blue scales and the tool set that offers. We'll see. This one though is liner lock. Sorry, this one is side lock. I'm getting mixed up. This is now long discontinued. It actually locks the spring, so it works. You can't close a knife without pulling back. But this knife is quite dangerous. I cut myself on this while making a sandwich, would you believe it? Very, very sharp blade. Got to be very careful. It slides back. It's got the irritating corkscrew. But I suppose on a knife like this, which is technically a picnic knife, it's fine. And yeah, not bad. You know what I mean? These things aren't that expensive, but I think the Sentinel is really superior to this one. Again, you get the tweezer and the toothpick. Next up is the Trailmaster in camo. This one is very similar, I think, to the Army knife, which has the olive and black rubberized scales. I think it's very similar. I bought this about 4 years ago. I've used it a lot. There's a little bit of wear around here. It's missing the Victorinox logo for some reason. Again, this is an exceptional value for money tool. If you want to stick in the mid-range and you don't want the plier and you don't want the scissor, you can't really go wrong with this. Liner locking main blade, semi-serrated. You got your, again, typical small flathead can opener. Large flathead is liner locking again, which is great, and you've got the cap lifter and wire stripper on that. It's also got the saw, which is great. I love the saw. I've taken this out walking loads of times and stuff like that. It's come in very handy. chopping pliers and stuff like that that obstruct. You've got the Phillips on the back, which is great. I prefer that than the corkscrew. And on this one as well, you have the punch. Yeah, there you go. So this is a fine specimen, and like I said, incredible mid-range tool from Victorinox. Next up is the rather attractive Hunter XT. This is a beautiful piece of equipment, really is. This is pretty minimal as well. There is a Hunter XS, which is almost identical except it doesn't have the saw. This one is a beauty. Blade is just plain liner locking. Corkscrew on the back. Unfortunately, I prefer the Phillips screwdriver. And then you got this gutting blade, they call it. Very, very nice. Very, very sharp. Serrated. Again, that's in a liner lock. And you've got your saw. Beautiful saw and very, very sharp. Of course, you can hold the hole here. It's getting a nice. You've got a pretty thick twig as well, or branch. If you need to get some firewood. So yeah, that's a beauty. Orange scale with rubberized edges. Yeah. With these scales, you do not get tweezer or toothpick, so this knife is pretty basic and pretty functional. It's the rescue tool. This is a beauty. This is an award winner, I think. It's got some great features, and it's an unusual one. I must say that if you put it under a lamp for a few minutes and then turn the lights out, it illuminates. So yeah, it's got the glass breaker here. This can be detached and replaced. Again, one hand opening, liner lock. Yeah, it's a beauty. Flathead, large, also locks. Cap puller, wire stripper. Then on this one you have a seat belt cutter, similar to the blade on the Hunter XT, except it's got this point here. That's not non-liner locking. And then you have the glass breaker, or the glass cutter actually. You break the glass in 4 points and then you insert this and draw back. So yeah, this can be replaced as well. It clips out. Yeah. Very unusual. Again, you get a toothpick and a tweezers on this one. I think they also come in black. And yellow is the colour though, it looks great. And there's also a pouch for this baby. So yeah, it's superb. Absolutely beautiful. Last but not least is the Work Champ. I think there's only one model above this, and I think it's called the Work Champ XS or something like that. Or, whatever, it's the top of the range anyway. And it's a monster. So this is second from the top. Again, this is really, really all you're ever going to need. There you go. Locking, flathead, cap remover, whatever. And then you have a line locking main blade, and it's a plain blade, but it's big. Again, you've got your little can opener, small flathead, and then you have the plier, which is one of the main reasons I bought this. I wanted to have the plier. Underneath the plier, you've got this little number 2 Phillips head. And put him back. And you have this scissor on this. Not really a big fan of scissors, but it does come in handy. I think the spring can get damaged very easy if you push it out from here. Nice to have. Like I said, there's no point in scrimping. You might as well have the lot. That's your large, longer #1 Phillips. And you also have a saw on this monster. And then you have your file. Yeah. And I think you can cope with this as well. Plastic probably, yeah. It's a bit too thick to be a hacksaw. In the back you have the corkscrew, but this houses the micro driver. And then you also have the punch. There you go. So yeah, this is a beast. It's similar to the Hercules, but I think the Hercules just doesn't have the file portion, and you also get the tweezer and the toothpick. So yeah, that's a fine beast, and certainly one you will definitely use over and over again.